What is up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube. It's me, Rahul, and today I have a brand new video of decks from Unbroken Bonds. I haven't really been taking a look at the new cards just yet because I've been a little bit busy with my family, graduation, and coming back from Berlin. Everything's been a little bit hectic on my end, but here we are back, and this is the first deck I actually wanted to try out. So amidst all the fire hype and all the like we got the Reshizard hype, we got the Guardian hype, we got the dark stuff hype, PikaRom, all the lightning stuff sticks around. I wanted to try out something that hasn't been touched in a while, and it was truly one of the more fun decks I had playing at the beginning of the format. Um, Granbull. Granbull is a very very fun deck actually. It was the deck that I like legitimately had a lot of fun with playing. I really enjoyed how it worked and operated, and it's back. This list was this list is a few cards off of what Top 64 over in Japan, and I changed some cards due to my own personal preference. So we're gonna go through the deck and explain some of the fun new old cards that are in it. So there's a Ditto Prism, which acts as the fifth Snubbull in this version. There's no Macargo, as you guys might notice. That's because Red's challenge is in the deck now. I'll explain as that goes through. There's three Oranguru. Oranguru is super important for Instructability. It is literally the lifeblood of this deck. So this deck cannot really deal with Muck, but I'll explain how you have a chance against Muck as we go through. There's a 4/4 line of Granbull. Granbull, as you all know, if you've forgotten, all out. If you have, it does 30. If you have no cards in hand, it's 130 more, so 160. A pretty good number for knocking out Dedenne GX, a new guy on the block. And I mean, you don't really need to one-shot anything anymore because everything's got so much HP, so you don't mind being the two-shotter anymore, in my opinion. There's four custom catchers. Now, custom catcher is a really interesting card here because if you get two of them in your hand at once, you can just bring up something on the bench and smack it. But if you have one at a time, you can you can replace the use of an Oranguru and just draw some more cards for turn with custom catcher. It's a very easy card to just burn through your deck with, and I really like it because it'll like increase the overall consistency of the deck. It's still something I'm experimenting with, but yeah, I like it so far. There's four Nest Balls, very standard explanatory, one Pal Pad, four Pokegear. This card is incredibly burnable. This used to be Pokenav in the deck, but Pokegear is just better in my opinion because you can look at the top seven, you can get a supporter card, put it in your hand, and this means that you have four extra cards that can be a potential supporter on turn one because a lot of the time all you need is an Apricorn Maker on turn one, and you're pretty much good to go. There's four Rescue Stretchers because we have a much, it's just these guys. It's just Orangurus and Snubbulls, Granbulls. So we have four stretchers. I mean, the stretchers is the first thing I'd cut if I wanted to play anything else at the moment, but I don't really know what I want at the time. So I think right now stretchers is just a good card. You can have more burnable cards like a treasure. You can have more burnable cards um, like you could get the little energy recycler system. That's another card that I was thinking about, but that's what we have for now. There's two switch in the deck just in case someone tries to bring up a Oranguru and tries to stall you out. There's four Ultra Ball, very standard. Two Shrine of Punishment. Shrine's really good. Taking down things you've already hit and does a little bit of chip damage that you might need. So you can get one shots on things. It's still unlikely that you do in this format where everything's so beefy. There's a Wondrous Labyrinth in the deck because this is the first thing I thought about when Wondrous Labyrinth came out. I wanted to put that and Granbull together, but the rise of Muck and Zapdos being able to easily pick off your Macargos made like life a little bit more annoying. There's four Apricorn Makers. You can search your deck for up to two item cards that have the word ball in their name, put them in your hand. So ideally turn when you hit that, get the Nest Balls, and then after that, if you get an Apricorn Maker, you can get an Ultra Ball and then play the game from there. There's two Diantha. You can play this card if one of your fairy Pokemon's knocked out, get two cards from your discard pile into your hand. Diantha pretty much perfectly sets up the Granbull again, exactly how you need it. Pokegear helps you get it. Big yawn, sorry. So on and so forth. It's very late while I'm recording this. I'm so sorry. I didn't think I was going to, and then I just impromptu was like, I'm playing PTCG anyway, I might as well, and then I'll throw up a game. There's one Guzma. You could interchange the stretcher count. Like I could do this and go to this and still be okay. It's not a big change, I think. 1 to 2 Guzma is still fine. The custom catchers kind of take the place of it. There's four Reds challenges. The new card, this is a card I think that makes the deck go round. Dread's challenges, as you can just discard 2 other cards from your hand, search your deck for a card, and put it into your hand. So it's basically a comp search for a supporter. So basically, if you hit a Red's Challenge and an Ultra Ball, you can get whatever you need in the deck at any given point. And Red's Challenge is like, hey, I like literally have a way to get that energy now too. There's 2 bodybuilding dumbbells for Zapdos. 40 extra HP is pretty important. It makes the 2-shot into a 3-shot, or forces them to have the E powers. Other than that, the dumbbells don't really like amazing. It also helps out against Pikazek, forces them to have extra, has to have a modifier to one shot you with full blitz. So that's kind of good in that regard. You could play a Baby Mew if you'd like to avoid the tag bolt, but I don't really think it's necessary. There's 1 choice band in the deck, just in case you want to get those numbers. And this is a card that I think is really, really cool. Stealthy Hood. Prevent all effects of opponent's abilities done to the Pokemon this card is attached to. Remove such effects. So you throw this guy on there. This pretty much becomes your Orangers cannot be touched by Muck. So even if you have 1 Oranger that works, you can set it up so you can get that custom catcher combo, pull up the Muck, and kill it on that 1 turn. Or you can set up the Stealthy Hood so you can just keep cycling, force him to bring it up, and kill it, which I think is super, super cool. That being said, that is the deck. Let's jump into a game. No, I guess we'll save it. I guess I'll save it. I don't really know what the hell's. I only have 2 decks built right now. I deleted everything. I cleaned up my account. For Unbroken Bonds, I'm looking at a Turbo Pika deck that I'll feature coming down the line. It's inspired by Andrew Mahone's Pika Pads deck, so that should tell you guys a little bit about it. But it's Turbo, so it's got the Dedenne and Electro Charge. That's pretty much all I've changed to Mahone's Pika Pads deck. Waiting for opponents to load in the game. All right, so let's see what we got here. Okay, we're going first. So I probably hold this to sit on it just in case I need to burn cards. Okay, we drop this. We drop this. We've got 4 snubs. Ditto. I'm gonna get a snubble with my first one, and then a ditto with my second one, and put the energy on the ditto. I want to say. Yeah, we'll just grab that in case of Diantha. We'll just double check what's prized. The ball count, 3 Ultra, 3 Nest. We have 1 in hand for both. And then we'll go ahead and I'm going to put the Labyrinth down, and I'm going to go ahead and custom catcher for 1. Which was a really good 1 card, actually, because that gives us double Nest Ball. And that's pretty much all we could ask for the rest of this turn. We get 3 attackers set up. Maybe wise to hold 1 of the Nest Balls. Unsure. We'll take an Instruct for 1. It's turn 1. We don't really care. We want to draw cards. We want to see cards. Dumbbells is good here. We pass turn. I can Dumbbells next turn, Red Challenge into the switch, and then Oranger and hopefully hit an Ultra Ball or something of the sort. The Red's Challenge is really good here because we can switch out of the active and get what we need to get done. And the Labyrinth is really good here also because it means that Zapdos is going to need to find a counter stadium. And if they're playing PikaRom, they only have 2, maybe 3 counter stadiums at the current moment. Some of the lists in Japan were playing Labyrinth. Oh, this looks like it's going to be a Zap Beasts deck. So an E-Power comes down. And a Lily for 5. Okay. So this matchup is going to be a true test of our mettle because we are playing a matchup that, in theory, is going to be very close. Switch. Counter Stadium. And a concession. Okay, that game was not really a game, so we're going to redo this. Ka-chow. I played like 4 games with this list, and I like really like it. I've changed a couple cards here and there. When I had 2 stretcher, I felt like I wasn't getting the stretchers enough, so I went to 3, and then when I was already at 3, I felt like, why not just go up to 4? I had a heavier stadium count, and I thought the stadiums were like getting really clunky, and like really annoying. But the stretchers I could almost always use after turn one. The only time they're dead cards is like turn one, and if I have to discard them turn one, it's just like a whatever kind of thing. Um, so that's where I'm at with the list. I really like the deck. Grass, Lightning, Psychic. I don't really know what's in it. We won the flip again. That's very good. I like that. Ooh. Okay. We're going to start that because we can nest for another, and we have Apricorn. So the key is also we play the Apricorn this turn in case we end up top decking a supporter. So even if we're going to get like a Nest Ball and an Ultra Ball and we're not going to play it, we still grab it. Ooh, 3 basics. Okay, interesting. Lost March. Okay. That's different. I think we can make a big brain play and just bring up the Hop Up this turn. And pass. I did that. I made that play because we top decked the Guzma. And by doing so, I know I'm not getting knocked out because the Emolga into Natu could provide some sort of a knockout from him. So if I just Guzma this turn, I have an energy in hand, I have a Granbull in hand, and I have an Apricorn Maker. And as long as I don't top deck anything that's crazy, I can just Apricorn Maker for Ultra Ball plus a Nest Ball, a Rangaroo for whatever the third card is, or like just do that in some order of that correct. You'll watch me do it. Like speaking is difficult with this, but I'll do it correctly, go down to 0, and I will be able to knock him out. See, he had a Trumbeak and an Emolga. I don't know why he didn't just Trumbeak me. Um, Also, like him getting 4 into the Lost Zone turn 1 is a little bit unrealistic, but I mean it is something that can happen. So I'd rather be cognizant of that fact when I have all the tools in my hand to just respond with a knockout. I'm fine with him just doing a chip 20 damage tackle or retreating and passing into that Emolga, which I think is also fine because we take the first knockout then, and that's all I care about, honestly. If he went first, this would be a little more dicey. If he went first, I also probably could have taken a knockout because I would have just got Apricorn Maker, Nest Ball 1, and then I would have just make a mess and discard it 2, which is kind of funny. But so he's going to be feeding me this Emolga, which I think is fine. That's one of his grasses gone. Assuming he plays 3 and 4 DCE, that's also really good for us. Apricorn off the top is fine. So here's where we will Rangaroo first, because I'm going to Apricorn for cards. Then we'll Apricorn for an Ultra and an Ultra, because I want to use the Nest. I think I want to use the Nest. So we're going to Nest for a Guru. And then we'll Ultra the Ultra away. And then we'll grab a Granbull. And so we have the Ditto in the deck as well. So Ditto is something I could be grabbing soon. And now, see, I could use the Oranguru here, but I already have a 0 card hand. I don't really need anything else to set up my board. I'm not in dire need to find another Snubble or anything of that sort. So I think it's just wise to just smack them. So next turn I can try to I have to find a Snubble, and I have another energy attachment, which is really, really good. Because that just increases my odds of just, oh, he threw away a Jump Off and a Marshadow. Oh, one thing that this deck can do to be really annoying against me is they can let loose me into 4 cards and have to make me go down 2-0, which is incredibly annoying to do. Because sometimes I won't have the pieces to do so. But with Red's Challenge, I can Red's Challenge for an Ultra Ball always, which is really, really cool, actually. And that's something I really like about the deck. See, he's let loosing me here. He doesn't have the knockout as of now. He'll need to find Skiplooms and not draw into the Jump Fluff is what he has to do. So the Labyrinth is an incredibly good card to draw for me here. These two, not so much. Whoa, that was an incredibly strange animation. So he's got 6 in there. He's 1 short at the current moment. If he doesn't take a knockout this turn, I think I could run away with the game entirely. Because I can throw that in the Wondrous Labyrinth, attach to the bench, Red's Challenge whatever card I draw off the top, throw away the Granbull, Red's Challenge for a Snubble, and then knock him out. So he's just going to be passing here. and we're gonna force him to have the answers to our questions. Do you have another energy in your hand? Is the question we're gonna be asking. Um, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and get the dumbbells because I'm a little bit greedy, and him having a 3 card hand means that he more than likely doesn't have an answer, an energy plus a way to get to 9 in the discard or the lost zone. Sorry. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the dumbbells and just set myself up in a better position to deal with the 1 prize deck. So we're gonna see a Bossed Barge coming in. Lily for 5. Okay. Not a deck I thought I'd see come back, but I think Lost March could be a decent deck back in the meta if like all things considered. So now he's at 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. He needs one more. He needs a Trumbeak, or he needs a Blender, which at this point he realistically could get very easily. So he's gonna calm into the Trumbeak. So now our game plan is to try to keep pace. And if we can keep pace, we walk out with this game. We are down 2 nest balls. Oh, he's going to be let loosing again. Oh, wait a minute. He's an idiot. He attached to the active, not the bench. Guys, that was a stupid move on his part. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and dumbbells the bench. Just burn a card. We're going to pal pad the Guzma and the Reds challenge, I think. I want the back of the deck. We're just going to custom for 1. We'll go ahead and attach. Switch. We'll take 2. I don't need to Ultra Ball these cards away now. Because I'm just in a position where I'm just going to use Giant Fangs for the knockout. So I just want to draw some cards and just get cards to play with in the following turn, which I think is fine to do. So we're just going to go ahead and Giant Fangs. And now if he knocks me out, I've got the Diantha, I've got the Ultra Ball, I've got the Custom Catcher. My hand is pretty much as perfect as I could want it to be. I legitimately do not need any more cards. If he doesn't knock out my active, Giant Fangs will take another prize. And I can start setting up another guy. So another one hits the dust. And important to note, that is a second Jump Bluff. Yeah, that is 2 different arts of Jump Bluff. So he's down to just the 2 Jump Bluff that are on the board right now, and his not 2s. So this Hoppip is not a threat to me at all right now. He can evolve it into a Skiploom, but it won't be floral pathing anywhere anytime soon. Yeah, and Emolga hits the board. Trumbeak. Oh, he hit my 1 Guzma. God damn it. That's rather unfortunate, actually. So, I mean, but I don't care, I think, because as long as I'm killing the active, I'm okay. The only problem I'm a little bit concerned about is if I get stuck in the active, what do I do? But that means he's also not clearing out the game, so we can just sit here and pass for a couple turns. The Skiploom won't become... Like, he's going to Floral Path here, fail the search, but if he does play Stretcher, he can come back and do that. Blower. It's just semantics at this point. This Blower is just completely unnecessary. And a Lost March coming out for 200 damage. The knockout was already there. He's committed 2 of his grass, though, on the active. So that DC on the bench is also free pickings for me. So let's make sure we don't screw this up. I'm going to want a Diantha. I'm going to Diantha for the Nest Ball and an Energy. Stretcher 3 back in. Ultra Ball 2 away. I have it. We're going to do it this way. Diantha for Nest Ball and an Energy. Do this. Do this. We're going to grab the Ditto here, finally. I know I have been waiting to get this Ditto, but I think it's time now to get the Ditto. No real reason other than the fact that I wanted this Snubbles in my discard to play with. Because I do play Force Stretcher. So the Ditto is a little bit there. And that way all out, I don't have to use either of my Orangaroos, I had pretty much a perfect hand. Hit another energy, really good for next turn. If he doesn't knock me out, I'm just going to attach and all out, or play whatever card I get out the top. Once your board is set up like this, it's just nothing else you need. Nothing else. Like, with the Pokegears and the custom catchers now in the deck, there's so many more burnable cards that you don't have to play stuff like Fiery Flint or Treasure, I think it was the other card we played, for no effect. So we'll see a Blender out of my opponent, and another Removal hits the bin. I mean, it's safe to say at this point, it doesn't matter. He's just one-shotting me. I just like to keep track of what he's been getting rid of. And a pass. And a draw. Ooh, that is actually unfortunate as a top deck, because that's probably the only card in our deck where we can't do anything with it. So we're just going to evolve into the Granbull. And we're going to go ahead and instruct for 2. Needing an Ultra Ball. We did not get there, so we're just going to all out for 30. And this is the one time where, like, we hit a dud. Given we have 1 Ultra Ball in the deck, and we have all 4 Reds Challenge in the deck, that should not have been a dud. Ooh, he actually plays a card. Okay, he does play Counter Stadium. He finally bumps my Wanderer's Labyrinth. This actually could get a little bit dicey, because I actually cannot one-shot Strange. I do need to top deck an Ultra Ball for myself to stand a chance here. A Diantha, Ultra Ball, Reds Challenge, anything of that sort would be really good off the top. Shrine's not what we're looking for. We're going to go ahead and take 1 and see if we get there. Reroll. Reroll. We're taking 1 because I can burn a switch. There's the Pokegear. There's the Reds Challenge. There's the Reds Challenge. And let's grab ourselves... I'm going to get the Nest Ball. And we're just going to burn the Nest Ball. I don't think there's a need to grab another Snubbull. I think this is completely fine. Getting another Snubbull does inhibit my bench. I would like to have another Ranger in that slot. So we're just going to grab another card, and we're going to call it a day. There's no need to ever fill up your bench with this deck. It just could cause uninvited trouble. We have 1 energy left in the deck, so we can set up for a Giant Thanks coming up here. I do not have any more switching cards, however, which is a little bit unfortunate, because my Guzma's in the Lost Zone. And so if he does have a Guzma, and he is wise to my shenanigans, he can Guzma up my Oranguru and pass, and I will lose the game. Which would suck, but... Oh, there goes a Reds. But he just did Lily. So that's one reason you could play 2 Guzma, just to have another way to get out of the active. 2 switch has been enough for me a lot of the time, because a lot of the time I'm up against EX, GX decks. In a 1-price battle like this, the Labyrinth does come in handy, and as you can see, like, they also probably don't play too many Guzmas, because they're trying to hit your active, but he's got all 3 of his 4 DCs on the board. Very funny, actually. We got a Lost March coming in. Let's see the top deck, and I can clean it up. And that's the game. We're going to instruct for 1. Ultra Ball away these 2. Fail the search. And all out. GG, well played to my Lost March opponent. Granbull is king. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section below. Message me on Facebook. Message me on Twitter. I'm back to content creation. I'm going to try to put out 3-ish videos a week. Let me know what you guys think about the content. All that being said, please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe. I am done with school for a little bit, so I'm going to figure out what to do with my life. In the meantime, Pokemon's what I'm doing at the moment, so thank you guys for all the support, and I appreciate it.